Welcome to the world of Python. Have you ever wanted to learn how to code? Coding can seem mysterious, but it's like learning a new language. Python is a great language to start with. Why? Because it's simple and used everywhere. Python is used to build websites. It can also analyze data. You can even use Python to automate tasks. People of all ages are learning Python, and so can you. In this guide, we'll explore the exciting world of Python. We'll use simple terms. Are you ready? Let's begin our coding adventure. Before we start coding, we need to set up our environment. Think of it as getting your tools ready. Don't worry, it's easy. First, we need to install Python on our computer. Go to the official Python website. Download the version that's right for your system, whether it's Windows, Mac, or Linux. Once downloaded, run the installer and follow the on-screen instructions. Congratulations, you've installed Python. Now we need a code editor. This is where we'll write our Python code. A popular choice is Idle, which comes bundled with Python. You can also use other editors like VS Code or Atom. Now that we have our tools, let's learn how to talk to Python. Python is a versatile and powerful programming language, but to harness its full potential, we need to understand its basic syntax. This is the foundation upon which all Python programs are built. Just like any language, Python has its grammar rules, known as syntax. These rules dictate how we write instructions that the computer can understand and execute. Don't worry, it's simpler than you think. Python is designed to be easy to read and write, which makes it a great choice for beginners and experienced programmers alike. In Python, we write code in a straightforward way. The language emphasizes readability, which means that Python code often looks like plain English. This makes it easier to understand what the code is doing. For example, to display something on the screen, we use the function. This function is one of the most commonly used in Python, and is essential for outputting information. Anything you want to print goes inside the parentheses. You can print text, numbers, or even the results of calculations. We also need to tell Python what type of data we're using. Data types are crucial because they define what kind of operations can be performed on the data. For text, we use quotation marks. This tells Python that the data is a string, which is a sequence of characters. For numbers, we just write them as they are. Python can handle integers, floating point numbers, and even complex numbers. Python is case-sensitive, so is different from. This means that you need to be consistent with your use of uppercase and lowercase letters. Paying attention to case sensitivity is important because it can prevent errors in your code. Remember to pay attention to uppercase and lowercase letters. This small detail can make a big difference in how your code runs and behaves. It's time to write our first Python program. We'll start with the classic Hello World program. First, open your chosen code editor, then type the following line of code. Save your file as. Now, run your program. You should see Hello World displayed on your screen. Congratulations, you've written your first Python program. It's a simple program, but it's a big step. Section 5. Storing information variables in Python. In programming, we often need to store information. That's where variables come in. Think of variables as containers for holding data. In Python, creating a variable is easy. We simply choose a name for our variable and assign it a value using the equal sign, which is just the equal symbol. For instance, we can store the text Python in a variable called. Now, the variable holds the value Python. We can use this variable later in our code to access and manipulate this data. Section 6. Python Math and Logic Operations and Control Flow. In this section, we will explore how Python handles various mathematical operations and control flow mechanisms. These are fundamental concepts that form the backbone of any programming language, and Python makes them incredibly intuitive and easy to use. Python can do math, just like a calculator. Whether you need to perform simple arithmetic or complex calculations, Python has you covered. We can use operators like plus for addition, minus for subtraction, asterisk for multiplication, and slash for division. These operators are straightforward and work just as you would expect them to. For example, if we write result equals 5 plus 3, Python will calculate the sum and store it in the variable named result. This is a simple yet powerful way to handle numbers. Similarly, if we write difference equals 10 minus 4, Python will subtract 4 from 10 and store the result in the variable named difference. This makes it easy to perform and store calculations. For multiplication, we can write product equals 6 times 7. Python will multiply these numbers and store the result in the variable named product. This is useful for a variety of applications, from simple math to complex algorithms. For division, we can write quotient equals 20 divided by 5. Python will divide 20 by 5 and store the result in the variable named quotient. This is particularly useful for tasks that require precise calculations. But Python can do much more than simple arithmetic. It can handle complex mathematical operations and even support libraries for advanced computations. This makes Python a versatile tool for both beginners and experts. It can also make decisions using conditional statements like if and else. For instance, let's say we have a variable named age that equals 15. We can use an if statement to check if age is greater than or equal to 18. If age is greater than or equal to 18, Python will execute the code block that follows, such as print, "You are an adult." This allows your program to make decisions based on different conditions. Else, if the condition is not met, Python will execute the code block under the else statement, such as print, "You are not an adult yet." This helps in creating dynamic and responsive programs. Python can also repeat actions using loops. Loops are a powerful feature that allows you to execute a block of code multiple times, which is useful for tasks that require repetition. For example, we can print a message multiple times using a for loop. This is done by writing for I in range 5, which will execute the print statement 5 times. The code will print, "This is a loop," 5 times, demonstrating how loops can automate repetitive tasks. This is just a glimpse of what Python can do with operations and control flow. The possibilities are endless, and mastering these basics will set a strong foundation for your programming journey. Section 7. Building a number guessing game. In this section, we will combine all the programming concepts we've learned so far to create an engaging and interactive number guessing game. This project will help solidify your understanding of variables, loops, conditionals, and user input. Now let's put everything we've learned into practice. This game will not only be fun to play but also a great way to practice your coding skills. By the end of this section, you'll have a fully functional game that you can show off to your friends and family. We'll create a simple number guessing game. First, we need to import the random module, which will allow us to generate a random number for the player to guess. So, type import random at the top of your script. Next, we'll generate a random number between 1 and 10 using the random function from the random module. Write number equals random.random1 to 10. This will store the random number in a variable called number. We'll also set the number of guesses the player has. Type guesses underscore left equals 3. Now let's give the player some instructions. Use the print function to display, "I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. This will let the player know the range of numbers they need to guess from. We'll use a while loop to keep the game running as long as the player has guesses left. Type while guesses underscore left is greater than 0. This loop will continue to prompt the player for a guess until they run out of guesses. Inside the loop, we'll ask the player to make a guess. Use the input function to get the player's guess and convert it to an integer. Write guess equals int input, take a guess. Now we need to check if the player's guess is correct. Use an if statement to compare the guess to the random number. Type if guess is equal to number. If the guess is correct, print congratulations, you guessed it, and use the break statement to exit the loop. This will end the game if the player guesses the number correctly. If the guess is not correct, we need to give the player some feedback. Use an elif statement to check if the guess is less than the number. Type elif guess is less than number. If the guess is too low, print too low, try again. This will let the player know they need to guess a higher number. If the guess is not too low, it must be too high. Use an else statement to handle the case where the guess is too high. Type else print too high, try again. This will let the player know they need to guess a lower number. After giving feedback, subtract 1 from the number of guesses left. Write guesses underscore left minus equals 1. If the player runs out of guesses, we need to let them know the game is over. Use an if statement to check if guesses underscore left is equal to 0. Type if guesses underscore left equals 0 print, you ran out of guesses. The number was number. This will display the correct number and end the game. This game generates a random number, lets the player guess, and provides feedback. It's a great way to practice using loops, conditionals, and user input in a real-world scenario. It also limits the player to 3 guesses, adding an element of challenge and making the game more interesting. By completing this project, you'll gain valuable experience in writing and debugging code, and you'll have a fun game to play and share. Section 8. Congratulations, coder. Now what? Congratulations. You've taken your first steps into the world of Python programming. You've learned about setting up your environment, basic syntax, variables, operations, and even built a simple game. Remember, practice makes perfect. Keep experimenting with different code snippets, modify the game, or come up with your own ideas. Section 9. Keep the Python fun going. Learning Python is an ongoing journey. There's always something new to discover. Explore online resources, take online courses, or join a coding community. The more you code, the more confident you'll become. The world of programming is vast and exciting. Keep that curiosity alive, and who knows what amazing things you'll create with Python.